So first, a little bit of apology. I changed a little bit the title of my paper because at the time when I was applying for this conference, I'm working on some documents which mentioned students precisely from Carniola, Krańska in Zagreb. But later I found that there were relatively many students from other Slovenian lands, from Styria, and even a few of them from Carinthia. And since this conference is taking place in Carinthia, I thought they should be mentioned as well. So, therefore, I will talk about students from all Slovenian historical lands at Regia Sciencarum Academia in Zagreb in the first 2 decades of the 19th century. This institution, Regia Sciencarum Academia, was not a university in a modern sense, which was founded in Zagreb only in 1874. As well as we heard that Slovenians were fighting hardly to get to university in Ljubljana. In Croatia, the situation was relatively similar. So in the early 19th century, there wasn't simply the possibility to found a full university in Zagreb. Therefore, there was this institution which was called the Regia Academia Sciencarum cum Archigymnasium. This institution was founded first as a gymnasium in Zagreb by the Jesuits in 1607. During the 17th and 18th centuries, studies of philosophy and theology, which were commonly known as the academy, were attached to the gymnasium since there was no university, as I said. Therefore, the secondary and higher education in Zagreb was organized within this academy with gymnasium. And these 2 institutions were not separated until 1842. The gymnasium had 5 or 6 grades. In some periods there were 5, in some 6, 3 or 4 lower, which were called grammatica. And that's why I don't use the proper English term grammar school for gymnasia, because it would cause misunderstanding. And the 2 higher grades of the gymnasium were called the humaniora, or Schola Humanitatis in the Latin. The academy comprised of 3 faculties: philosophy, theology, which was separated in 1784 during the reign of Joseph II, and the faculty of law. The 2-year study of philosophy served as obligatory preparation for studies of theology and law until the Thun reform of the school system in 1850, when it was transformed into the 7th and 8th grade of gymnasium. So people who graduated from this humaniora can be considered as to be ending their secondary education. After obtaining the philosophy degree, students were able to pursue career in administration or as teachers, which made this study attractive. So they could go on with their study, for instance, studying law or going to some university, other university centers within the monarchy, or they could start their professional career with that. Most students of philosophy were therefore at age between 16 and 21, but some were older, even up to 27, as we shall see on some examples. The usual age of the students in the final grade of gymnasium, in this 2nd year of humaniora, was between 13 and 20. Between 1900 and 1922, altogether 35 students from Slovenian lands graduated from Zagreb Gymnasium, and as many as 88 attended the 1st year of philosophy at the academy. So, in average, that would make 4 in every year in this period. And in the years, for instance, 1811 and 1813, they made up to 10% of all students in the generation. Besides the compulsory subjects which were taught in the gymnasium at the study of philosophy, there were some optional subjects. Those were Greek and Hungarian languages. Greek was introduced at the time of the Jesuit administration, and Hungarian in 1791. And in 1843, after a heated debate, it became compulsory subject. That matter of Hungarian language in the school and the public administration was one of the main topics of Croatian history in the early 19th century. But since only a few students took on this subject, students of different grades attended the lectures together. The main source of information about students from gymnasium and academy are school directories, which have been preserved for the entire period after the introduction of the state administration in 1776. Prior to that, the school was run by the Jesuit order. All directories from this period are, of course, in Latin. In gymnasium, one teacher was teaching all subjects and drew up a common directory for each year. In the study of philosophy, each subject was taught by another professor who compiled a separate directory for his subject. And this fact results in certain inconsistencies between directories. Furthermore, it seems that the knowledge of Latin of some professors, at least, was hardly perfect. For instance, there are several mistakes in the use of cases, which suggests that the professor who was writing it was translating his Croatian thought into Latin writing and in the process forgot to change the case when necessary. Most students of the first year of philosophy in each generation in this period graduated from the Zagreb Gymnasium within the 3 previous years. The rest of them presumably finished their secondary education elsewhere. Almost 1/3 of students were natives of Zagreb and Zagreb County, while others came mostly from different regions of present-day Croatia and Slovenia. Occasionally, there are students from distant regions of the Habsburg Empire, such as Venice, Transylvania, Hungary proper, Bohemia, Lower Austria, Galicia, and Tyrol, and even some parts beyond, for instance, Bosnia or Krakow, which was an independent republic at the day. This fact shows that at the time Zagreb was a relatively significant educational center, although of limited scope. Each directory contains several sections, which can vary slightly from year to year and subject to subject. And here we have an example of that. As a historical source in directories, particularly significant are the following sections: age and religion. This is the first one, cognomen, et nomina, etas et religio. Nationality and place of birth. It's the second one, natio, locus natalis, comitatus regimen vel circulus. Parents and their condition, professional inclination, and livelihoods. Other sections are mainly related to the assessment of learning. Those are these sections in the upper row which are particularly interesting. And as we see, here is an example of one student from a place called, in Latin, it's named as Kostelnica Circuli Neostadiensis, so some Kostelnica in the district of Novo Mesto. My guess is that it refers to Kostanica, although generally there are some other students from that place, and generally the professors use the German name, Landstrasse, for that. But I found no Kostelnica near Novo Mesto, so probably this is it. So they use, for these political entities, they use the term comitatus for those are counties in Croatia and Hungary. Regimen is a regiment that's for people coming from the territory of the military border, which exists at the time still. And the circulus is usually used for people from other parts of the Habsburg Empire or even So we see this student is a little bit older than usual. He's of age 26. This is from year 1810. He's Carniolus, so from Kainska or Carniola. His tutor, curator, is his brother named Antonius, who is a plebeian living in the above mentioned place, which means this Kostanjica. He supported his livelihood is supported from his brother, and he said that his professional inclination is ecclesiastical, which would mean that he intended to become a priest or a monk, but that must not be, that is far from being certain. In this lower part of the table are these, strictly speaking, school informations. This outfit at Relationibus Publicis sine ratione sufficiente are his absences during the semesters. From this we see it's 0, so he was never absent from school without proper explanation, and classis in moribus is behavior, and denotes prime means the first class, so he was very good at behavior, but his school notes from this subject were not so good. We see that it's second and third class, so the best are listed as eminence, then comes the first class, the second and third means it's the loss of year. So the students from Slovenian lands are listed as Carnioli, as this one, for instance. Those are those from Kainska, or Carniola, or Kain in German. And in one case, there's one that is listed as Goto Carniolus. Then there are Stili from Steyerska, Carinthi from Koroška, Germani, Italy, and Illyri. That's during the period of Napoleon's Illyrian provinces. These terms, as well as others in this section, are generally not related to ethnicity, but the province of origin. There are two exceptions. The term Germanus usually means ethnic Germans, which we can deduce from the family names, of course. For ethnic Germans from towns in non-German parts of Habsburg Empire, and there are relatively many such from Zagreb. For instance, it's nothing surprising to find someone who is Germanus from Zagreb or from some other town in Croatia or Hungary. And here among these students from Slovenian lands, it refers only one student from Maribor in 1808, whose name is Ioannis Hek in Latin, so it's Hek or Chet, we can only guess. The second exception among these examples are three Carnioli, whose names are Ioannis, Antonius, and Ignatius Fuchs, who were born and lived in Zagreb. So for them, this term can be understood in the ethnic sense. And judging from these directories, it's possible, but it's not quite certain that they were brothers or at least related, because all three of them have other information considering the parents and curators. Professors sometimes make mistakes even in the topography. For example, in 1816, one student named Josephus Vikichnik is listed as Carinthus natus Klagenfurt Circuli Cileiensis. So obviously from this Carinthus is that it refers to modern city of Klagenfurt, the capital of Austrian canton land. But it's listed as being part of the district of Celje, which is, I would say, impossible. Basically, after 1809, Carnioli should be regarded as coming from the Illyrian provinces, or later, after 1815, from Habsburg Kingdom of Illyria, of which Kranjska made part until 1849. As well as, for instance, so Croatian students from Croatian counties in the regions south of Sava, which are part of Illyrian provinces as well. But that's not the case. Term Illyrus, or born in Illyria, as they sometimes say, occurs for only 3 students in the years 1813, 1819, and in 1822. Term Italos refers to 2 students. One is named Andreas Kocijancic from Udine district, and the other is Josefus Penkovic from Šempas. In the years 1810 and 1811, and this term is probably used due to the existence of Napoleon's Kingdom of Italy, of which Udine were part at the time. There's also a term Subimperio Gallorum, or which would be translated under French rule, for Kranjska, for students from Kranjska and Gorica. Out of the 35 students of the second year of Humaniora, so here we have listed all of them in this period, the vast majority of them, 27, had their livelihood secured by their parents, guardians, or relatives. Only 5 of them had their livelihood secured from ecclesiastical sources, Bishop of Zagreb, canons, or Zagreb seminary, and 3 from private sources. None of them was of noble origin. More than half of them went on to study philosophy at Zagreb Academy in the years following their graduation from the gymnasium. Out of 88 Slovenian students of the first year of philosophy, 13 had their livelihood secured from ecclesiastical sources, and 73 by their parents, guardians, or relatives. Neither among them is a nobleman. Most of the students resided in the houses of Zagreb citizens, and unfortunately the directories began to provide information about their hosts only after 1827. And to conclude, we can say that although Zagreb was a small town in the early 19th century, with a population of less than 9,000 in 1817, for instance, and being far from an important center of secondary and higher education in terms of Habsburg Empire, it was a significant center for people from its geographical surroundings. It's therefore no surprise that young men from Carniola and southeastern Styria continually came to study at the gymnasium and the academy in Zagreb. Obviously, Zagreb was an affordable destination for students from Slovenian lands, since the vast majority of them who studied in Zagreb, as we have seen, had no other source of income apart from their families, and those were not noble families and presumably not rich. We hope that once the work on digitalization of these school directories for this entire period is done, much more comprehensive research on this topic will be conducted. This paper has been merely a glimpse on this extensive archival treasure.